Welcome back to Tomatalk, and we are going to color another page from this Pokemon Legendary and Mythical Coloring Adventures book. Last time we colored Mew, and here it is. Looks pretty good. Can we improve? I think so. And we're going to do Kyogre this time, if you couldn't get that from the thumbnails. So I hope you stick around and enjoy. And I am going to be referencing colors based off of my Kyogre card that I got, and let's see how this goes. I also wrote a short story, and I hope that you enjoy it. It's probably not going to be the greatest, but I don't write stories. I just thought it would be fun to tell one. So, here it is. Kyogre is a legendary Pokemon, seen by few and believed by even fewer. Most that is known of this legendary beast is based on myths from civilizations long past. The last sighting of the great Kyogre was 50 plus years ago by a lone fisherman, and only one person believed the fisherman's tale, his daughter. His tale is as follows. While fishing one day, he was caught in the most ferocious storm he has ever seen. In his heart, he knew he would not make it. For what seemed like hours, which was only mere minutes, he fought to survive, losing hope as time ticked on. Out of nowhere, the fisherman heard a tremendous roar, a roar so loud it made the storm seem calm. This roar terrified the fisherman to his core, scared him so much that he stopped fighting to live altogether. He thought to himself there was no way he would ever see his wife or child ever again. Or so he thought. As the deafening roar trailed off into the night, so did the storm the fisherman had been fighting. In shocked wonderment, he chose to look off the port side of his meager fishing boat. To his surprise, a giant yellow eye was staring into his soul. Once he saw that eye, an enormous peace spread through every fiber of his being. He knew without a doubt he was safe and that the great Kyogre was watching over him. Kyogre surfaced just beyond reach for the small boat, as if to say, "I watch these seas. You are safe, my young friend." With one final roar, Kyogre was off beyond the waves. Shock took the fisherman full force. He shrank to the deck and contemplated what just happened to him. His daughter Mary has always believed his story. She believed it so much that she dedicated her whole life to finding Kyogre and learning more about this legendary Pokemon. As Mary grew up and worked on her goal, she was met with criticism and skepticism. Her peers, professors, and the world didn't believe her and mocked her efforts. This did not prevent her research. In fact, it drove her more. Mary took the stories of where people believed Kyogre was sighted and put them on a world map to find patterns. She did the same with the information found in history and myth books. While compiling all this information, a pattern emerged. After years of research and ridicule, she believes she has finally found where Kyogre most likely lives. Mary packed her bags, got her father's old boat, and set sail upon the open sea. Weeks passed with no sighting, no hope of finding Kyogre. Supplies were dwindling, and her motivation and hope were waning. As she was about to turn back and head to the nearest port, she saw something in the distance. It was a giant rock in the shape of a rain cloud. At first she thought it odd when it dawned on her. Rushing to her notes, she quickly came upon the ancient text that described this very rock. This was the legend. No one has ever found this rock. No recent records show this magical stone, she said aloud. With revived vigor, she turned the boat and flew through the sea to this magnificent structure. As she drew near, the sheer size blew her mind. The cloud rock stood 500 feet from the waves below and spanned 600 feet wide. The cloud itself sat on top, slightly hanging over the edge. Mary stared in awe at its beauty and craftsmanship. How could this have been made? The smooth granite pillar rose 500 feet to hold the 700-foot wide cloud on top. It's the smoothest stone you will ever see. No blemishes, no seams, no cracks, nothing is on this stone. Hours passed and she still didn't turn from the sight. She didn't even take pictures. This is how miraculous this discovery was. Mary was startled out of her trance by a sudden growl fell from her stomach. After hours of sailing and staring, her stomach finally had enough. Taking some beef jerky from her pack, she decided to come up with a plan. She took pictures and drew the structure. She used these to catalog her findings and even tried entering the GPS coordinates of the pillar. However, the GPS wouldn't give an accurate location. It jumped from one coordinate to another, 50,000-mile difference. This is no ordinary location, Mary mumbled. I mustn't leave until I find Kyogre, or I may never find this place again. After the failed GPS, she decided she would review her photos. She couldn't review the old school photos with the film that she took, just in case the digital pictures wouldn't come through. She went to the digital camera, scanned through the photos, which they turned out perfect. And so with these perfect pictures, she decided to thumb through and make sure they were looking great. As she looked at the final picture, she saw something out of place. She zoomed in and found a silhouette under the waves. Kyogre! Her head shot up to peer at the location to find that nothing was there. Did her eyes play tricks on her? Scanning the sea, she found no sign of the great beast, and sadness started to creep in. She fell into the captain's seat exhausted. As she sat contemplating the events of the day, she fell into a deep slumber. As she slept, the little boat started to drift ever closer to the stone. One thing Mary forgot to look at in her excitement was the water around the granite pillar. Many tide pools are formed around the stone, and if she gets sucked in, it's game over. As the boat drifted closer to the pillar, the louder the roar of the tide pools became. Startled by a jolt, Mary woke with a start. Fear sunk in as she realized what was happening. Immediately turning on the engine to get away from the intense tide pools, but to her dismay, the boat didn't budge, pushing the pedal to the floor only to keep her in place. This is a battle she was going to lose. Dying like this was not part of her plan. What was she to do? Engine smoking, hope fading, Mary heard a thud. Turning her head to find the shock of a lifetime. A Kyogre the size of an SUV was pushing her away from the pillar, pushing her to safety. Once safely away from the pillar, she let go of the pedal and rubbed her eyes in disbelief. There is no way she was saved by a Kyogre, just like her father. Realizing she might miss an opportunity to see this creature up close, she ran to where the Kyogre was pushing to see this amazing creature. As she did this, she remembered her dad saying the one he saw had a scar on the right eye. This one had no scar, not to mention it was smaller than the one in her dad's tail. As she looked at the Kyogre, it stopped pushing and the boat continued to move. Mary shouted, "Thank you for saving my life, and please thank the Kyogre with the scar on the right eye for saving my father." With those words, the Kyogre dove into the sea. To this day, many do not believe her tale or evidence. However, there is one who does believe, and that is her father. After many years of dedication, she was able to prove her father was telling the truth. Her mission is complete, and her father is proud of his wonderful daughter. I hope you enjoyed that short story. It took me a while to get it all complete and ready to go. And yeah, it probably could use some improvements, but I quite enjoyed it and had a fun time. So if you did as well, please leave in the comments below what your favorite part was, if I should do it again. Just in general, let me know. Also like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, whatever you want to do. I appreciate the support you give, and I hope you enjoy the final touches of this picture. Thank you and have a wonderful day and a good weekend. Bye.
I don't need your say. Sanity's gone, I'm led astray. Hearts boiling over, venom I brew. Chaos in and hate all coming through. My rain rages on hardcore level. Get out of the way or you'll unravel. Sweating shadows, furies not cold. Spitting missiles, watch them fall. Don't face me now, you won't survive. I'm to the teeth, I'll take that dive. Come at me, I'm ready to go. My game's dirty, just so you know. My rain rages on hardcore.